A very good morning, learners. And I am Dr. Subhangi Sahoo from the Department of Food Science. I'm going to speak to you about a topic. I'm going to speak to you about nutritional labeling. Now, what is nutritional labeling? Why is it important? Why is a consumer required to know about the nutritional labels? This is essentially nutritional labeling, which is a consumer's guide to healthy food habits. A consumer seeing a nutrition label is able to know what is the content of the food, how healthy the food is or how unhealthy the food is, and so on. Now, what is the need for nutritional labeling? There is a wide range of technological advancement because of which a variety of products are available for the consumers, and these consumers they actually match up to the consumer's preferences and expectations as well. So whenever a consumer is getting a large range of products available, now the consumer is confused about what product to choose and what is beneficial for the family as well. So information on food labels by the way of ingredients, nutrients present in the food is a way in which the consumers can make more informed choices about the food that is available in the market and how best they choose it. Now, coming to nutritional labeling. Nutritional labeling is actually a description which is intended to inform the consumer of the nutritional properties of a food. So if you take a package, any food packet, and you see at the back, you will get some kind of a nutritional information which gives you the amount of calories, the amount of energy, the amount of different proteins or fats which is present along with sodium and other vitamins and minerals. So the picture alongside which you see is essentially, it has been titled very appropriately, how to decode a food label. That means how do you understand what the label gives you and what are the different parameters. Now if I go very briefly into this, you will get the whole amount of energy, calorie requirements, you have the RDA requirements as well, what should be the serving size of the food, and also what are the major sodium or sugars or added sugars which are in the food which makes the food more unhealthier. Nutrition labeling consists of two components. You will have nutrient declaration and also you will have supplementary nutrition information. Now coming to nutrient declaration. Nutrient declaration is actually a mandatory declaration which has been approved by the FSI, which has to be on any kind of a food packaging. So whenever you take up any kind of a nutrient declaration, it also talks about a standardized statement or a listing of nutrient content in the packaged food. Now if you see the pictures here, the pictures essentially talk about all the different nutrients which are available on the food packaging, and first starting with fats. Now different kind of fats are available in terms of saturated fat, unsaturated fat, and you have trans fat also, which have different health implications on the consumers. Then you have proteins, fats and carbohydrates which are again present in the nutritional labels. You have sodium, sugar, which is again something which is not very important for the human dietary habits, and you have vitamins and minerals. So all these components are present in the nutritional label as well, and the consumer has to know how much of all this is important for a consumer if they have to pick up something which is healthy enough. Now as per the FSI, that is the Food Safety and Standards Authority of India, nutrient information on the label should be declared as per 100 grams per ml or as per one serving size only. Moving on to the next aspect, which talks about the supplementary nutrition information. The nutrient declaration was giving you the exact nutrients which were required. This is going to give you supplementary information which is like an add-on. Now what are the other things which are essential or which are available in this product? The additional information is intended to increase the consumer's understanding of the nutritional value of the food. It assists in interpreting the nutrient declaration, and it is an add-on to the nutrient declaration. And one of the finer examples of this is the front of pack labeling. This is a labeling concept which has just been introduced in about September 2022, and the picture alongside which you see, it talks about low carb delights. Now some kind of a savory and a low calorie, they do not generally match up together, but this product here is talking about something that is low in carbs or carbohydrates, and it also gives you a supplementary nutritional information in terms of it is talking about something which is keto compliant, which has a high fiber and a high protein. So we know that there are products like this which are not at par with the regular savory, which is very high on carbohydrates. So this is one example of a supplementary nutrition information which is available on the food packaging. Now, why is there this increased global interest in nutritional labeling? The pictures here will definitely give you an example about heart healthy, talking about BMI, talking about different diabetes or other things. So, all those pictures suggest there is an increasing rise in non-communicable diseases, and nutritional labels are actually used as a policy tool. So, in this system, the government and the manufacturers are actually trying to guide the consumers in a way that they can make healthy choices. And this is a cost effective method because nobody is present there when you are picking up something from the food shelves of a supermarket. So, by seeing the label, by seeing appropriate information on the label, the consumer can decide for himself what is best for the family. This is another aspect of the nutrition labeling, that is the front of pack labeling. The front of pack, the name itself suggests, on the front of the pack you will have some kind of indicators which tells the consumer about the health properties or about the good properties of a product. They might be positive, they might be negative as well. So, if you can see this picture alongside the slides, that makes it very clear. Now, you take up a potato chips packet, there is one kind of a logo, and when you see into the logo, it talks about a high salt, high fat, high calorie. Any consumer might be informed at this point of time itself that this product is something which is not as healthy. So, when you talk about the front of pack nutrition labeling, it refers to a labeling system that is actually at a glance nutritional information. You see it at a glance at the first sight itself, and then you decide whether to buy a product or not to buy a product. And then they provide a quick and easy to understand information in the pre-packaged foods and beverages as well, and the consumer can make an informed choice at this point and choose wisely. This is one of the important points about the front of pack labeling system. Now, this is one of the notifications and about the front of pack labeling system. This has been initiated by the Ministry of Health, Government of India, and the Food Safety and Standard Authority of India. So, these two organizations, the ministry and the FSI, have tried to bring about this kind of labeling system in the food packages so that the consumer is able to understand and buy wisely. Now, the label which you see here is known as the Indian Nutrition Rating. This kind is going to appear in the food packages henceforth, and government regulations are underway. This is based on the health star rating system. So, this is very important, and this recommendation or this notification has been sanctioned or has been approved by the FSI in September 2022. Now, coming to the front of pack labels, this is a public health initiative, as I have told you earlier. Because of the increasing rise of non-communicable diseases, this public health initiative has been initiated by the ministry and the FSI, and it can be mandatory or it can be voluntary. So, different countries have their own systems of adoption, but in India they are currently they are in talks with the food industry to make it a mandatory practice, but it has its own hiccups. And as you can see, the star rating system, as per the FSI, you can see the ketchup and the jam bottles and you can see the star rating there as well. So, the more the stars, the more healthier the product is. So, as per a star rating FOPL system, the overall nutritional profile of the food packages are rated on a scale from half star, which is the least healthy, to 5 star, which is about most beneficial. So, this idea, other products are shown in the picture as well, which give you the star ratings or which give you the front of pack labeling as well. Now, these are several examples. The highlighted portions are they show you the star rating, and here the second picture which tells you about less sugar in your product. So, anyways a consumer would prefer something which is low on sugar but is tasty as well. And the other picture there about raisins, Raisin Bran Crunch, which talks about high fiber and whole grains, which is very important for a human dietary requirement. This slide gives you the different front of packet labeling system. So, this slide gives you information about the FOP schemes which are utilized by different countries across the world. So, you have different systems. These are warning symbols, some are warning symbols, some are grading systems, some follow, like the first one here is a numerical color which is called the traffic light system. So, it tells you which is red, it is like a high saturated content of sodium or sugar, and so on. The next one here also gives you a a warning about the high content of sodium, sugar, fat in any of the products. The next one is the positive logos, which tell you products that's something which is heart healthy or something which is good for the human consumption. And the last one is the graded system, which India is also following, which talks in terms of the number of stars and the health implications. This slide is a clear depiction about the number of foods we consume, the whole lot of ultra processed foods we consume, and its implication on human health. This really brings forth the need for any kind of a rating system where the consumer is informed. Now the challenges and way forward, here we are seeing that there is a rise in the consumption of more processed foods. There is an increased market for the processed foods. There is an increased burden for the non-communicable diseases. The challenge is to display food labels in an understandable form so that the consumer is informed and they know what are the nutritional parameters which are present in the food. This mandates higher level of transparency on the part of the food companies to build consumer confidence. Now, I would like to end with this, where India has gone a long way in the development of mandatory FOP nutritional labeling, and it is a step in the right direction. And we as students, I think at this younger generation, we are attracted to more processed foods, but we can bring this nutritional burden down by being more conscious consumers in our own respect. Thank you so much.